as this is likely to be my last video of the year, I've spoke about it before, like sometimes saying it could be the last one. It literally, I anticipate this being the last one for the year. And who knows when I come back into the new year. Now, it's not like we're just leaving, I'm doing other things. Really, what I wanted this video to be about was really just show why sometimes it might be perceived that I have hissy fits. It might be seen why, I'm just having a little outburst here and there. And this genuine frustration in my journey. And I want to just show people the highs, the lows. Some people go through life having to work so hard with very little reward or even no reward. There'd be some people who have things just given to them all the time, like it's just literally silver spoon. And there'd be some people who they do work hard and they reap what they sow. They reap the rewards. It's not to say what's right or wrong. It's just that I'm in the category where it just damned if you do, damned if you don't. I can't seem to get out of it. It's like quicksand for me, and it is frustrating. It's not fair. And I personally feel I have every reason when I have an outburst to feel that way. Like I'm processing it, and ultimately, even though I get down, I'd say at times, but quite frequently, it never stops me pushing forward. I don't lose the spark in me. I always follow what I'm passionate about. So even if I'm not reaping any reward, as long as I'm following like what I want, then I'll pursue it. And then that's what I'm always like. So I might bounce here and a bounce over there, but it's always something being productive. It's always something being accomplished. And I don't like obsess over what other people are doing, but I just have an awareness. So if someone does one of the things I do or something and they're successful, it's like crazy because I'm doing that plus this plus this plus this, and it's like I've done loads. When I think about it and I reflect, I think, God damn, you've done incredible. Like really, deep down, I'm thinking you've done incredible. It's been relentless because if I'm not doing a book, I'm doing the audio book. If I'm not doing an audio book, I'm doing videos. If I'm not doing the videos, I'm sorting out a podcast. I'm just like, I'm only adapting my videos to podcasts. Not like I'm sitting there recording a podcast. It makes no sense. I might as well do the videos and then take the audio. But either way, it's still work. And then you do covers for videos and all sorts of things. There's a whole process with the books. And it's a huge amount of consistency, but not just consistency, I don't think. Personally, I think I've done very well at what I do. And I look and think that you're acing that. And you're acing that, and you're acing that. Like, there's not much more you can do, and you've grown. Like, I'm talking third person, they're talking about myself. But, I rarely get a pat on the back, and it's like, it's important I reflect personally within myself, and hopefully it would encourage others to look at their own progress. It's like Rome weren't built in a day. And I think you have to have that understanding of anything you create and have a long-term view and a vision. And that's what I always have, this vision. And so it doesn't really bother me. It bothers me a little bit at times, of course, but it doesn't. Well, at the beginning stage of a journey, it doesn't bother me what people perceive it as because I know how the painting's going to form, and it's allow me to work on this canvas. So I'm just going to show a few examples of the work I've done over the years, and it's only some. Like I had a social media platform, especially with like Twitter. I had over 4,000 followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it. At one point, that was a thriving ecosystem. Very like-minded people. But I grow tired of social media. It actually drains me, and it becomes a bit obsessive. And a way for me, it time drain. Like I could be doing something else, and I could enjoy myself more in this avenue. I don't want to stay there. I start to feel really, really stuck, and I don't like fakeness. And I recognize there's a lot of people through social medias and every platform where they're like chameleons. They adapt just to be popular and things. I can't stand all that crap. Um, so yeah, social and then TikTok, I think I can't remember how many I had now. I don't know if it's 14,000 at one point. I don't really know. I deleted that. So the statistics don't matter to me, but that's a lot of videos, thousands. And that was actually thousands of videos since I was on TikTok from about 2020. So that's 5 years of content, multiple videos a day, like multiple, that easily thousands, like many, many thousands. I don't know how many videos. And it was obviously different categories, different things. It could be silly, it could be serious. Point is, never really made money from that. I enjoyed the creative fun, but it seemed to slow the videos down, if anything. The views just dipped after I joined that. And I refuse to be anything I'm not, so I'm not going to play up to anything. So a lot of that time, the content I was creating kept getting flagged, and I was getting warnings, and I was like, I'm forever fighting TikTok. And I thought, well, I'm not going to adapt this just to get money. So in the end, I just cancelled this thing. I just said I want to leave this to fund, which not many people do, I don't think. But I was like, I've had enough of this shit. I don't play nice. I'm not playing the way you play, and it's like I'm not doing it. So leave me alone. But anyway, because there's more of a spotlight on you with the system. You know, if you do anything wrong and they don't like this, they don't, because it's all about money. You know, so it's like, sod you. I'll do it my way. I'd rather do my way than make the money. So it's making little anyway. No here nor there, of course. But so what we're going to do, I haven't planned this at all. I just really want to give people a window, really. If you see me frustrated in previous videos, because that might have come up as a recent video and you maybe didn't see this one, and maybe one day you see this one, it might put things into context. Well, might do, might not. Might not see it like you don't see any of the other videos. Nothing I do gets vision. You know, it doesn't seem. I might as well just be talking to my freaking wall. You know, it's crazy. I can't get anywhere with anything I create. And that's just reality. So before we get on to all that, if you just look at the picture here, we've got my books. Now, not everybody is. Look, I hear it all the time. People that write books and things, they're rarely successful. And then those who are successful are like astronomically successful. So there's this huge discrepancy between the ones that are successful and the ones that are struggling. And there's this grey area in between where some people might make some money. It's all on an individual basis pretty much. But one would assume the more you have, the more chance you got of getting recognition, your breakthroughs, selling products. It might work for some, doesn't work for me. So, you know, and I'm quite open about that. I could easily sit here and talk up the work I've done with my books and act really successful. I could do that, but I refuse to be anything other than myself. So maybe it diminishes the value. Perhaps maybe if I was to suggest they were selling like crazy, and you know, it would help maybe the value. But I'm not interested in perceived value. I know how good they are. And I know when someone invests in them, it's going to help adapt, like change their life, because it is serious topics, you know. And that's so the first two books. I don't want to keep. I hate promoting. This isn't promoting. I'm just going to discuss just over no longer than a minute. Father's daughter, heartbroken daughter. They're my worst trauma. So it's family court, dealing with the separation from my daughter, parental alienation, or everything and everything. I was literally depressed like crazy. I was having to fight for my life, for our lives. That's what that was, and I did fight for our lives. I didn't give up. Losing My Defined Your Soul come next, and that was my spiritual breakthrough. It was something that a huge moment in my life, which I've retold and shared. And I think that will literally help so many people. Like literally, I think if you're going to pick one book, that's going to be the one that's going to change people's lives. And then we got Heal Your Mind to Free Your Soul, Inspire Your Mind to Enlighten Your Soul, and Find Your Peace to Save Your Soul. They're all in the same vein. Of course, I would read them in the order they were written, but I don't think they necessarily have to be. And they're personal growth. So that's me talking about topics in life where I think, you know, that's going to help someone, whether they're overcoming bullying, whether it's societal expectations, whether it's setting boundaries, whether it's going after your dreams, whether it's reflecting on our own inadequacies and shortfalls, maybe especially early in life. It's really about empowering people. So it's personal growth and empowerment, really. And then I've got another one I'm working on, but I've got different projects as well. So it's just frustrating because, you know, I know what I do can help transform people's lives, and in the process, it transforms mine. So it's like this beautiful ecosystem. You know, I'm investing in you, you're investing in me. We're like, let's do this together. You're growing, I'm growing. It's beautiful. And I see people, and I'm not here to judge, but I do see people who don't contribute anything, and they get all the time. They gain at someone's expense. So the person loses and this person thrives, and they don't respect anything, don't appreciate anything. And they're the chameleons. These are the ones who are fake. And when I witnessed it, I found it really, really deeply frustrating, because someone could just invest in themselves, and I can grow, they can grow. I think it's far more balanced. It's fair. I don't know. But anyway, that's just one side. That's the books. By extension, I sat down and I recorded every single one of those into an audiobook. I took the time to do that after I did all that work to create the book. And I do the whole process myself. I do the writing. I come up with the concept. I do the writing. I do the editing. I do the cover design. I do the publishing. So I'm the one that distributes it to all the online stores and all the processes within that. And I have to deal with all the admin side to these things. I do all of it. So that's me, one-man band. Then after all that effort, best do an audiobook. And I record all the audiobook, just like the books. The audiobooks don't sell big, like really. Sometimes they might, sometimes they won't. It's the same with the books. I'm not saying the books never sell. They just rarely do. And it's just off and on, big gaps, between sound. It's just frustrating. Anyway, but I would say there's other people who could do the amount that I've done and they'd be really successful living off that. That's all I'm trying to get through. I'm not looking for sympathy. It's just in a lifetime that could change someone's life. In a lifetime, people are successful off that and they live off it. Literally, they live off that for the rest of their lives. That's mental. I haven't. No, I have not. So let's be realistic, shall we? Let's be realistic. I haven't planned this. I've got 2 pages. I've got to try and figure out how we're going to do it. So what I've said about it, we've had a social media channel with thousands of videos, which I deleted because I don't want to be on social media anymore. Then we've got my books. I've done 6. There's more in production. We're not going to talk about them too much because we'll talk about what we do have. So what we do actually have right now is 6 books. That could be successful. The social media could be successful, can't it? If you've seen, like many people are saying, people make a lot of money on social media. I mean, nothing. A lot of people make a lot of money off of their books. I make barely anything. So we've got author, content creator there on social media, and now a YouTuber as well, because I do YouTube videos. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? All of these have the potential to make money, and I make nothing. And yet I've still committed to doing it. I didn't stop at the first book. I've done 6. There's still more in production. I didn't stop at the first video on social media, and I didn't stop at the first platform. I just grew tired of it. It wasn't really somewhere I want to put my energy in. That's all. But no matter how much energy I put towards it, I never was successful anyway, financially. So then we come over to YouTube. And if we go on my main profile, Stephen Bradley Waters, we got 660 videos. Now, some of them are maybe something earlier on. So let's just say there's about 600 videos, I would say, of substance that would help people on different avenues, of course. And this hasn't been successful. I mean, I've got 409 subscribers. Recently, I lost about 8. It's probably from one of the ones where I've probably thrown a hissy fit. But it's like whatever, It's like people can't stick with you through the thick and thin and don't stay around. I'm good with people leaving. I'm comfortable with that. But if you look here, like we've got 1 view, 2 view, 1 view, 5 view, 1 view. You can't be successful at the back of that. I think it deserves to be successful, but whatever. I can't make it happen. And like I said, I've been consistent for a long time. So I think it's fair if I saw someone do what I've done, even just this on its own, I would say if you have a hissy fit and you get frustrated, you have even a tantrum, I understand that. That's understandable. This is ridiculous because I've seen YouTubers make a fortune. They live off it, The reality, this is the thing I don't think people quite understand or see or recognize, sort of thing. Someone does a video and it gets 100,000 views. Someone does a video, it gets millions of views. Someone does a video, they get 1 view. It's not necessarily the quality of the video because there's not an audience that's seen it enough. Sometimes it's just luck, and chance and timing. It could be absolutely anything. And of course, I don't know the work they do in the background. Maybe they promote on social media like crazy. I don't think everybody does. But the point is, it's not the production quality and things. It isn't testament to the view count. Just because someone's got 1 view doesn't make their work inferior. It doesn't mean anything. So someone has got millions. It just means there's an audience that's attracted to it, that's found it, and it's spiraled. But I'm not of the notion that if you've got 1 view, that means your video was rubbish. It's like, how can it possibly be recognized as rubbish when no one's seen it? That's not how it works. So I recognize that while someone else is thriving and being really successful off the back of what they've created, I've put a very similar time and energy, commitment, passion, I think skill, towards what I've done in the same way they've done with whatever they're doing in whatever avenue it is. And yet they're managing to make a living off that. And they can keep investing in it knowing they're making an income. Whereas what I do knowing I don't make anything. So there's no expectation of money because I don't get anything. So I do it from just a passion. And I'm just relentless. So if I want to do something, I'll do it, But I do it from the love that I have for it, a calling, if you like. And it is what it is. So, like I say, I've done a lot. I think I've done a lot. And in every single category, someone else would have been successful. So in social media, people are making a fortune. In books, there's some people making an absolute living out of that. In YouTubing, there's people that are making God knows how much money off YouTube. And I've done over 600 videos on this platform alone. And now I've just started up working on my new gaming platform. I'm the only subscriber, but I don't really care. You know, for me, this is more of a love for gaming. I just want to welcome people to. This is me archiving. I've said in another video. This is me archiving my game collection in a way that I can watch it back in years to come. I watched a couple of them recently on my main telly in the living room later, and I was enjoying it. And I don't feel like I'm any different to any other YouTuber. Like if you're doing gaming content, there's some people that are dramatic. I'm not. I'm just myself, and I find it relaxing. And I like the way I am like that, you know, because I'm not playing up to the camera. I don't think I'm particularly boring. Depends on the topic, I guess. If it's an exciting action game, you see me quite like sharp-witted. But I actually like it. I like me. I think that helps. So yeah, if people don't watch them, they don't watch them. I'm used to it. I'm used to it on every other platform I've created. You know, I don't take it to personal in that sense. So overall, I'm doing it for me. On the other side, I'm doing it for two other category of people. One that maybe they only play one game or something all the time, and maybe they'll see something and then they'll see other stuff, and it opens their eyes to different categories of games and then different franchises. But there's also a group who don't play games at all, and I just want to show them that it's not so scary to jump in, and there's so many games you can play, and it's really interesting. It's like my biggest passion. One of my biggest passions is gaming. I love it, you know. I don't think I'll ever grow tired of it. I just think there might be a day when either my hand's slow and you can't do what you used to do, which would be really frustrating. Or life just gets busy and I go in a different direction where I have different experiences that are equally beautiful, you know, in its own way. And maybe I don't have so much time or space to do that, and it's fine. You know, wherever life takes you. So this is my way of documenting it, really. And I've always had a passion for it. That's the thing. This isn't just now I'm doing it. It's just that I've focused so much over the past maybe 5 years on sharing my personal growth journey, you know, my books and everything I've done, my spirituality, everything I've done. I've focused in such a way that it's been quite professional. And I've put the gaming on the back burner because I always felt that it was more of a hobby, a side project. I don't really have time for a side project. I can play the games, but I didn't want to invest in going the other side, you know, making a website and doing all that. I'm not going to go as far as doing a website again for it because it's not that deep. But yeah, so even if, even if you go back years ago, I've got Inside PC Gaming. That was when I was trying to make something of it. You know, I actually got, back in the day, about 15 years ago or something. So I've been doing it for a long time, but it's off and on. I actually got products. I reached out to, at the time it was Codemasters, which Electronic Arts, EA bought Codemasters. They ruined them, to be totally honest. And there's a guy there that was their, like their PR, their the one that deals with like affiliates and things. He deals with the people, the press, if you like. And he moved to, I can't remember, what's the Turn 10 Studios, I think it is. So he left Codemasters and he went to Turn 10 Studios, the ones who make Forza, the Forza Motorsport series. I don't know what he's doing now, but it was really nice. You know, he sent me free codes for games. This is before you could do it through these key websites. There's these websites now where you can go register as a influencer and all this nonsense. This was before that. I literally reached out directly. They gave me free merchandise, so I got a free physical copy of the game. I got a free cooler thing that you attach, key rings, all sorts of stuff. I thought it's nice. And then another company, Thrustmaster, actually sent me their racing wheel and pedals, which was worth £350. That's a lot of faith in me to do that. And then I had to return it after a week or two. I can't remember. I know I returned it, and then I loved it so much I bought one. So what I'm saying there is, if I'm passionate about something, I will pursue it like crazy. So there was a period in my life where I wanted to be an independent. I want to be independent video game journalist. That's how I was seeing it. So I wanted to be able to make my own website. I want to do my own videos. I want to review things. I want to set up competitions. I had like dreams for this. Like this was it. And I'm throwing myself in, and I'm not really getting far yet again. But then I realized that my ideas were all over the place. Like it was a passion because I love gaming. But it was, how do I want to share that, and how exhausted is it making me? Because I made a website, and then I'm trying to manage the website, then it's constantly come up with content for that, but I'm trying to do the videos, and I'm trying to sort of figure out the next move, and it's like, oh my God, this is just, I'm not sure if it's fulfilling me enough. It's taking away the passion, the fun. So that's why I say I'm not going to do the website. I'm not going to go all down this dark path because it'll delay everything else. This is a passion that I've had my whole life, so I share it. And I don't care if anyone watches the videos. That genuinely, I do it for me mostly. If it helps someone else, then great. My other content I do for other people. So if I do the talk series on my main profile, for instance, that's all for this is for people, you know. This is, I want people to heal. I want people to grow. I want people to see the corruption in the world. I want people to see how beautiful life can be, though, if you follow your path, you know, and you stay true to your dreams. There's no guarantee you get what you maybe was expecting, but I have no doubt it works out in the end some way. If anything, if anything, we just evolve. You just become a better version of yourself, you know? Like, I might not have what I perceive to be success in the way I'm perceiving it, but someone else might see the growth in me and say, well, he's freaking hell, he's grown a lot. And it's like, I know I have. And you could argue that's the blessing. I think sometimes we attach so much on the material, which it's fair, really, when you see other people have it. But don't lose sight of your growth, you know? So there's so many levels to it. It's like what you could be perceived as a failure, you know? It might not very well be a failure. It's just it might be it's the wrong perception of the growth. You know, I can't help but think let's propel 5 years in the future. Let's say I get a big breakthrough, my life changes. It's like all of it could just ignite. It could be crazy. Like if you're in the spotlight, people are naturally going to be interested in you. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that's going to happen because who knows. But let's say you was in the spotlight. Now people know your name. People now want to do research on you. They want to figure things out. All of a sudden, all your accounts blow up. So it might be someone reads what like the right person who has influence. Let's say someone reads a book or say see a video. Let's just say a book. It'd be easier. They read one book, it blows their mind. Like, God damn, I've never seen it written like this, or someone said a book like this. I've never heard this point of view, whatever it is. And then they just go on a tangent of buying all the books. Boom. Then they share it with people. All of a sudden, it just picks up. Books are selling like crazy. Then they realize, oh, there's a YouTube channel. Oh, he's interested in this. All the videos blow up. All of a sudden, I can join the YouTube affiliate thing, start earning some money off this. Then boom, the gaming channel picks up just because people want to see me doing other things. It's what I'm saying here is it's like, don't stop investing in yourself because you don't see the growth yet, or you don't see the success yet. I just feel anything can happen at any moment. And when the sparks start up, boom, it can pick up. It might be I get to the end of life and it's frustrating as shit. Like it never grew, but I still enjoyed creating. I still did what I want to do. I can't guarantee outcomes, and I can't force people to invest, you know, but I'll always invest in me. That's the one thing with me. So look, there's even more, like I said, with the podcast and things. And there's another book I'm doing at the moment. I literally did a chapter, not yesterday, the day before. So I sat there for about an hour, did another chapter. I'm not supposed to be writing chapters at this point. I'm supposed to be editing the book. The chapters need to be consolidated now. They need to be edited, and then I can release it. Every time I write a chapter, it's although it seems productive, it's not in a sense because the book's no closer to releasing. So I need to be editing, but I'm not in the mood for that right now. So that book, I've released a book every year since 2019, and 2025 could be the year where I don't have one. And I think personally it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to have a book this year. And I don't care. Usually it bothers me because I'm someone who does like a bit OCD. I like to have that. But I think that gap for me is going to be monumental in the future. I think I'm always going to look at 2025 as like a transitional year, a year of change, a year of like introspection, looking at where you're going, what you're doing, having a break because you're going to burn out. Having a break from that part of it, you know. Yeah. I've done a lot of videos this year instead, and I'm happy with that. So what I want to do here, just show the videos. This is my gaming channel. And like I say, look, I could be doing, instead of doing the gaming channel, I could be doing my book. Now, I know some people think, I'll just do the book. No. I want to do this. I'm enjoying doing this. I'm going to have this. People might look and think I'm doing a lot of videos in quick succession. Believe me, I'm building it. And then by the end of the year, I can then, like, as the new year approaches, for instance, I can then reflect and go, right, now where do I want to go? But I created. And it's the same way when I've left jobs to write my books. People thought you insane. It's like, no. I've got bigger dreams. And when the book's done, it's done. And then the book adds to another book, to another book. Now all of a sudden I've got a collection of books. You're an author. You're an established author. You've got the books. And it's the same with this YouTube channel. It starts with one video. Like I said, Rome's not built in a day, but it will be built. So this channel is going to have all of these playlists are going to be full. There's going to be multiple playlists, and it's going to be deep, full of videos and game content. And then I'll sit back and go, yeah, you've done a lot there. You've finished the page effectively. Not you can never be truly finished, but I'd feel like I've done what I started and I managed to do it in a few months. That's really what it is. I could take it slower and get there slower, But the thing is, I don't know how long I will have the time to do it because life can pick up at any moment and it can throw a curveball. So while I have the rest of this year, that's what I'm doing. Hence why it's unlikely the book's going to come out, because that takes a commitment for me to do that instead, or find the time aside. I don't think I've got the energy for it right now. I don't feel passionate about it. When I'm passionate, I'll throw myself into it. So realistically, it's unlikely. And I feel like personally, deep down, I feel there's enough anyway. Like I've got 6 books. I think 6 enough. I think 6 is enough. So if you go on my website, for instance, this gives it more. I think this helps it even more. I haven't shared the gaming channel on my website yet. Whether I do, I don't know yet. But I've spoken about the new books. This is the new book that's coming out. I've sort of hid the cover a little bit and the title. I've already got the title established. I know what I'm going to call it. That's my next spiritual book coming. Right, why is this not loading? Wait a minute. Let me load it again, see if it loads, because I don't know what's going on. Oh, right, it's working now. So just showcasing, really. My YouTube there. We've got another YouTube video there. Just pointing out the podcast. I've got 3 different podcasts on these channels. I made a point. This is the last one. That's why I wrote it there. Podcast finishes end of 2025. No new episodes planned for the future. I already published the episodes back in September, October, August, and I just set them a week apart or something, and it went all the way up to New Year, and I'm not doing any more. That's why it's running out. It's definitely running out because I haven't added anything. Audiobooks. So we've got all the audiobooks, and we've got all the books. It's crazy, isn't it? I think it's mental that I haven't been successful, but it's like, it is what it is. Then I started wanting to join in helping identify charitable causes, give them a platform. This one's reached their goal nearly, very close. It's really near the end. This one keeps getting up and up, so I'm not sure how genuine it is. I don't want to be cruel because I don't know, but the price keeps going up. And in the UK, I don't know how much private funding you need. So I do need to address that one. I'll have to go back and check at some point. When I update the website, I'll have to go and check out some of these. This is other inspiring stories. So I want people, this is what I enjoyed watching. Speaking up, sharing our stories. I've done a lot of video ones. I'm going to have to go through a lot of this. There's a lot of videos on my website. I didn't realise how many. When I'm on a forklift in a warehouse, just showed my background, really. But this is a way for me just to showcase in one space, really. But it's going to need updating with the gaming stuff and maybe remove some of the overinflated stuff we've got there of the other side, because there's too many upon reflection. But I feel like if you think about like the work I've done, I don't think I've been lazy. I don't think I've been working my ass off for a very long time. But right now, my focus, this is why I say it's unlikely I'll create any more videos the rest of this year because I'm on my gaming channel. Even if you see my gaming channel's got 1 subscriber, that's me. You might not want to subscribe because you don't want, for whatever reason. Don't assume there's no new content. There's content coming all the time. And I've just got a lot to get through. Like, I've got a lot of content. And I think it is going to take me up to Christmas at the very least. And if I'm still passionate about it in the new year, I'll keep making content for it. I think sometimes it's important to take a break from other things. Life can be heavy. It can be serious. And it can get exhausting. And for me personally, I think taking a step away from that, it's helpful. Because otherwise it can get a bit much, all the time. Yeah, so I think you just got to detach a little bit. And I think the gaming stuff allows me to detach from the serious side of life and all those other issues and even the frustrations, really. And it allows you room to breathe, I think, and adapt. Anyway, so I say, if anyone sees that in some of my videos, I'm really down, I'm fed up, I'm really, really resentful and stuff, it was a genuine emotion. I'm not prepared to delete things and remove a part of the growth because I had an outburst there or this happened there. That was part of the growth. I'm not prepared to. I won't do that. I will never ever delete what made me at any stage. If it riles people, if people get triggered and they want to take things out of context or they want to fit an agenda to it or they want to judge me, it's like, do what you want with it. That was a legitimate emotion, hence why it was shared. And I personally feel, based on everything I've just explained, I deserve more from my life. I shouldn't have to keep going every month struggling. I'm sick and tired of it. Now, some of it is self-inflicted to a degree. I mean, look, I like gaming. Gaming costs money. but sometimes I spend beyond my means. It's really stupid, and I have to reflect and have to start balancing again after, and then I get frustrated that I'm so limited. But sometimes then on the same side of that, I sort of like do reflect and realize, you're lucky in other ways though. You're lucky to have the things you have, even if it's a real hard grind to get those things. At least you're blessed to have it. So like I say, you could always look at everybody else and think the grass is greener over here, grass is greener over here. But you don't know. You just, I think all we can ever do is focus on ourselves and don't lose sight of the vision. And that's all it is. So someone else, maybe they've got more material things, but maybe their mind is a bit more corrupted and they haven't set boundaries in their life. Maybe their life is incredibly draining about the people around them and they're constantly having to wear a mask and pretend to be this, pretend to be that. And eventually it becomes meaningless. You've got money, but you've got no substance to your life, But then when you've got your faculties in order, you've got boundaries set, you've established yourself, you're very confident in who you are, and you don't shake from that, but you don't have the finances. It's easy to look at them as a success and you think, I wish I had what they had. But would you swap lives? That's the interesting part. I wouldn't. All I'm missing is the money, really. Again, maybe relationships and things. Did another video recently. I'm not even going near relationships anymore. I didn't want to touch on it too much because I don't want to bring people down. I was going to mention it briefly in the upcoming book, but I stopped myself. I don't want this book to be like this huge negative voice. So it's personal to me, So I just thought for now I'm going to keep my mouth shut about it. To a degree. I say to a degree because I tend to talk anyway. But yeah, I just think life's heavy enough a lot of the time. And I think how we process what we call trauma or people, that's up to us how we process it. It doesn't mean you have to close your heart from negative moments, but it's up to us whether we're going to trust people. And that's what it was about. I was going to do a whole chapter on trust, but I thought I'm not going to go near it right now because it'd be I don't want to keep being spiteful. Like, I'm not saying I am spiteful all the time, but I don't want to keep digging at people. And I recognize for me to tell a story, there's a narrative. For the narrative, there's people involved. And I don't want to keep doing that, But ultimately, it's like, do I trust people anymore? No. Like, genuinely, no. I don't trust many people anymore. And that becomes a concern because to be in a relationship, you must trust someone. And I don't feel anymore that I trust people enough to open my heart to them. So that's why I said recently, like, I'm single, but I'm not available. Because, it's still, some people consider that self-sabotage and things, but I just don't have the time and energy to keep going back round in circles. People have a habit when they first meet you, especially when it's relationship-wise, they're going to put on a mask. They're going to try and be the best version of themselves. And so that's all beautiful because that can seem glamorous. And then it's all of a sudden, now we get this spiteful, vindictive, vengeful side when things are not going well. And people just give up too easy and all those things. It's kind of like, you're only going to find that out in the hardest moments. And it's kind of, do you need the hassle of that? Not really. And many people cheat. So that's the best part where the trust is, isn't it? Can you trust someone to be loyal? And I think the average person can't be. So yeah, I'm single, but I'm definitely not available. Anyway, you see my journey there. I haven't given up. So if you see I'm not making content in one avenue, I'm certainly over there somewhere making content somewhere else, And it's just do that, then we go over there. That's the point, though. Like, I come back next year, I could easily produce multiple books in a year. I could easily release all 3 books. I've got 3 manuscripts on the go at the moment. I could release all 3 in 1 year if I want to. And it may very well be that happens. It might be next year, I'd say. The focus isn't videos. I've spent the whole 2025 doing videos. 2023 may just be me go full out doing books. I don't know. And I'd say that's incredibly successful. My YouTube channels, both will be full of videos, content that could literally gain momentum at any moment. Both could end up being monetized. I could end up with 3 more books, which would make it 9 books, I think, if I'm doing the maths right. Let's say they picked up. So I'm just saying, anything can happen at any moment. And one moment when people judge and they think it's a waste of time, it's reckless, blah, 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 they don't realize it's part of the canvas. It's reaching different audiences as well. So I don't think it's a bad thing.